Where you at?
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for Gresh Unleashed!
Let's go! When the club go around here, I'm the cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby and mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. This is episode 91 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the blah blah. The prompter has messed me up. So joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And joining me as always is my main man, my right hand man, the voice of the Unleashed anthem himself, Mr. Hi-Lite. Real, what's good with your brother? This prompter messed me up like crazy, but what's up with your brother? Like, it just started glitching. I'm like, what is happening?
It's cool. It's cool, brother. It's cool. You know that's the beauty of on the fly, being able to freestyle with what you want. You got you. But we good, man. We hopping in here, man. How you feeling, brother?
You know, outside of a lot of changes going on, I'm pretty cool. Like, I'm 3 weeks shy of 30, so I'm on my road to dirty 30.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the 30 club, brother.
Yeah, might as well go ahead and just say I'm a part of it now, because at this point,
mentally, probably turning 35. Like, mentally, brother, it's all good. You know.
Yeah. But other than that, how you feeling, man?
Man, we feeling good. Had a case of the Mondays, and now it's Tuesday, and I'm like, we're almost halfway through this week, and ironically, the year. It's just, you blink and you're like, God dang, we're in October. It's holiday season already. What the freak? Like, Like,
it's time for Thanksgiving shopping. Like, if you ain't got your annual Thanksgiving stuff at your house, it's time to be like, I will tell you this right now. I'm putting y'all up on game. Go to Hobby Lobby, Mike's or Michael's. Get discount on a lot of Thanksgiving stuff. You be spending, you'll be literally leaving with a full house of decorations for like a little under $200.
100%, bro, and it works every time. Matter of fact, they already got the Christmas stuff out for you too.
And
Killer Reefs,
too, like 50% off. So like, what you will spend like $600 on for a tree with lights already installed, $300. And it's the ones that you put up and put back down. That's what I'm getting for this year. Like, I'm gonna have my first tree in 5 years, because my current living situation, I didn't really care for it, but seeing as going on a year or past a year of Ma Dukes, go ahead and restore that tradition in her honor. So got a lot of stuff. And then brother man, Henny said he's gonna try his best to make his way out here. Speaking of, shout out, because he lives in Florida, sending our good thoughts and positive vibes and prayers to everybody who's currently dealing with the current hurricane right now. It is, I guess, certain areas is category 5. So if you can get out, please get out. If you can't, we're wishing you good energy. Make sure there's no damage, no severe damage to your house, your home. But hey, well, hopefully, if you are tuned into this, whether on your phone or whatever, we give you some sense of escape as for the next hour. So we got you covered. But yeah, other than that, the holiday season is picking up. We're on the road to 100 episodes. We'll try our best to reach 100 episodes before the end of the year, before our annual break, because For those of you who don't know, we do our end of the year awards, and then we take we don't come back until like close to the Rumble, or at least like 2 weeks before the Rumble, I believe. Probably sooner, since the Rumble next year is in February, so we'll definitely be back before then.
Man, that's gonna take some getting used to.
It's like February 1st or 2nd, so it's like not that bad. So yeah, we'll definitely be back with you guys. But yeah, today's episode is pretty light for you guys who don't know already. We're gonna be talking about give our thoughts and opinions on Bad Blood this past weekend. We were there, literally. Us, a couple of friends. Shout out DJ, Lulu, Nikki, Mariah. Love y'all. But yeah, we was in the building. We was on the floor just vibing and had a few little mishaps with people in front of us and behind us. But yeah, we're here to talk about our experience from top to bottom, as well as talk about I guess you could say the first episode of Raw. And for 2 hours, you know, a lot of people, it's mixed bag because I put out a tweet asking people's thoughts and opinions, and we're definitely gonna read some of y'all's opinions on the first 2 hour episode of Monday Night Raw. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. For those of you who are in our age demographic, we enjoyed it because it was 2 hours. We got to go to bed early. Some people, the young ones who are used to 3 hours episode of Raw, you can tell that they was upset a little bit. But yeah, before we do that, might as well go ahead and transition properly. It is that time for us to chop it up with the fam, and we talk about, like I said, talk about Bad Blood, talk about Raw, and then we can get up out of here. We're gonna keep it simple, keep it short and sweet. And shout out to Javon Evans for on NXT having his first his dream match with Randy Orton. They just wrapped up that. Of course, Randy Orton won, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch that back because we went live right when it was going on. But yeah, they have respect for Javon Evans. He has a bright future. That kid has a bright future. So, hey, I am ready for that. But yo, where you want to start? Talk about Raw. I mean, not Raw. Bad Blood. Where you want to start? You want to start from the big surprise at the end, or you want to start from the top?
Man, that's a good question, my brother. I mean, you can't go wrong either way because that's pretty much the most important part of the show was the beginning and the end. I mean, you know, between listening to other people's reviews and our experience there live and hearing what other people had to say versus what we experienced, it kind of makes sense. I can see why everybody's like, yeah, B-show, mainly because the beginning was so hot and the end was such a surprise. So I guess we can start from the end because of the fact that, shoot, for us, we're sitting there, you know, ending credit, great moment, great return. Jimmy Uso back in the fray, calling the plays.
Big
Even
Jim.
shout out to, you know, he literally called the audible and was like, okay, Willow won. Oh, God, I got scared. I thought Saraya won, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Ooh. Oh. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to go off track. I just happened to see the finish of the match. Okay, Willow's going to be facing Mariah May at Russell Dream. Okay, there's that. All right. But, yeah, so nice moment. Real nice moment in ways of, I'm going to just get right into it, man. First off, our live experience. Our live experience of that was, we already popped for Jimmy. Crowd went crazy for Jimmy. Was like, yeah, oh, Jimmy. You know, because we were already saying when he was hoodied up, masked up, we was like, that's got to be Jimmy. It's got to be Jimmy.
We didn't even see him come up under the ring.
Yeah, from our position of where we were at, you know, it was very hard to see him. We had to literally look at the screen, which was a story in its own right. But, you know, we had to look at the screen from the angle of which he showed up. But when he stood up, you could see him and it was like, that must be Jimmy. Because we were like, who else would it be? You know, it ain't Higaleo because he's too doggone short to be Higaleo. So we were like, interesting. And there's Jimmy. And everybody went crazy, like, yo. So we're thinking, okay, that's the feel-good moment. Bloodline loses again. Well, 2.0 loses again. We were right there and where they went into the crowd shot. So that was good photos and being able to catch them like literally right there from us. They're up there now. Someone mentioned that Solo mouthed like this was all part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting thought there. And seeing that, we're thinking, okay, show's over. Roman Reigns and Jimmy hug. Jimmy walks up the ramp with Roman. Roman's like, that was a one-time deal. Cody gets jumped by the Bloodline 2.0 again. And Roman's like, yeah, no, not my problem. we're about to head out. Jimmy's like, hey, hold up, wait. Nah, we can't leave him like that. Now, I mean, whatever you say, I'm with you, but come on, man. We got to go help him. Roman thinks about it. He's like,
Yeah.
all right. Why not? Let's do it. So Roman does this. There's two things to talk about here. So I'm going to start with the part that we obviously didn't see and found out about pretty much way after the fact. Mr. Cody Rhodes stepped to the room, sir. Now, what did you think was going to happen? You gullible baby face, you. Oh, gosh darn, Cody. True American nightmare, Cody. I'm a good guy. I give my weight belts to kids. I shake hands and kiss babies. I'm a true politician's politician. I'm the face. Okay? Now, what did you think was possibly going to happen? You didn't just simply think that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton was just going to sit that and take that line down. Pause. No. No. Okay? See, look, even my ring light agrees, alright? Like, there's no freaking way, bro, you're going to sit here and tell me that you didn't see and expect Kevin Owens to just straight up beat you down in the parking lot.
Beat you like a bad habit.
And then just drive off in the Lambo of all things. Like, whoa, KO. Okay, I see you, G. Now, I'm hyped. I like heel KO way better than babyface KO. I'm going to always say that. And unfortunately, this just made Grayson Waller and freaking Austin Theory look that much more correct. Alright? They tried to tell you. They tried to warn you. This dude has a history of doing this to friends. And what did you think was going to happen? You fell for it, and now you're a part of the statistic. That now means no one can trust KO. Alright? Let that be known to any babyface.
Man,
Never.
I should have had LA Knight soundbite. Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna add that for next week's show. But yeah, for sure. Like one thing I do like that they did was they relied 100% on social media.
Yes.
Because nobody recorded. There was no camera there. It made it look that much real.
Yeah, it was very genius on the marketing part. I heard a lot of people give props to that, and it was one of those things that made me say, God dang, if only we could have snuck. We were right there. That was like right where that martyr was at. And I'm like, dang.
I was focused on Waffle House.
Yeah, you were. But I'm like, dang, if I knew that was coming, we could have caught that and we would have had exclusive. But it's okay because we're not exclusive type of peoples. That's not our shtick. Yeah, sorry.
But, sorry about that. One of these days it might happen, but it won't be intentional.
For sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. Like I like how that ended, and it just further proved Cody is that gullible babyface to where the long game could be that he when he learns his lesson, he turns heel, because he's gonna turn heel eventually at some point.
Maybe, or they keep him on the John Cena route.
Oh, so he's gonna be stupid for the rest of his career. Gotcha.
It's possible. I mean, he's got the same type of path as a John Cena. I can truly see him possibly being that for real. But who knows?
But they also set it up to where they don't want to acknowledge it on the air, so they're trying to make this as real as possible.
And I like that. I really respect that, like for real. And here's the funny part about it all, though. And somebody brought this up Shout out to the ladies, Lip Gloss and Ladders. They actually quoted this, and this was actually how I even found out about what happened, because I was like, wait, what? When did that happen? I didn't even know about that. And then I just happened to see it and look it up and was like, oh, and I laughed. So, if you recall, now, obviously, the rest of the world didn't see this. Only we saw this as Atlanta. Cody literally cuts a promo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thanking Atlanta, and well, the first thing that came out of his mouth is, hey, I feel like if I go back there, I'm likely going to get jumped, so I'm just going to stay out here with you guys for a little bit. Cody, that kind of low-key made you sound like a punk, not going to lie. But it's okay, brother.
Bitch made.
Yeah. You in Atlanta, I wouldn't have, for somebody that's, Marietta. That was the Marietta talk.
That's why you're in Marietta.
Exactly.
Nigga. That's why you're a Marietta boy. I hear talking about, I don't want to get jumped. Nigga, if you don't square up and fight.
Man, for real. Because I was sitting there, I was like, Cody, that was kind of like some hoe-ish, but,
don't tell
it's
me
cool.
That.
It's cool.
Don't tell me that, nigga.
Yeah, I was like, it's cool. I mean, you're doing your good. I appreciate you, showing love to your city and all that. That's cool, But that was the parallel, because the poetic justice of it all is, yeah, you got jumped all right. It just wasn't by who you thought it was going to be. But what did you expect, my ninja? Just like I said, you saw it coming. You had to. Clearly. And guess what? It's going to happen to you again with Randy Orton. So just get ready. One half.
So this basically tells me, so do we see this as a way of keep pulling Cody away from the Bloodline story?
I hope so. Because with Kevin Owens, it's like, I knew this was going to happen eventually, and they teased it with that first feud. It just makes me say, why the heck didn't y'all just do this beforehand? Because that makes the last feud they had from about a month ago look so stupid. Because you were like, who am I going to give a title shot to? Oh, I know. How about my friend Kevin Owens? Well, I didn't do anything to deserve a title shot. I'm not worthy. Have you seen my win-loss record? Well, shoot. Why'd you do it then? You could have just picked a rando, and you would have made that work. This would have been the perfect segue to start that feud. However, we're here now, so we just got part 2
so
and a more spicy.
Kevin Owens, Cody, probably like say Survivor Series, because keep in mind they're still doing Cody versus Gunther at Crown Jewel.
We'll get to that.
We'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that bull crap in a minute. But
but yeah, so basically Cody, Kevin, Survivor Series, probably KO will screw Cody at Crown Jewel. That's just my early betting odds before we do our official betting odds. Starting next week. And then we'll probably see like a couple segments where Kevin is trying to convince Randy Orton not to trust Cody, and then Randy will eventually turn on him and probably set up Saturday night's main event.
Okay. All right.
Just keep him away from the Bloodline.
Well, speaking of the Bloodline, let me go ahead and get into my theory that I sat and thought long, hard about. As a moment in truth, the best part of that ending was just the fact that we were there and we expected the unexpected as a certain return hit. And I remember we all got out of our seats. I mean, our whole room was like,
she cried.
Yeah, Lulu cried, boy. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, Derek was smiling. He was happy and cheesing. I mean, everybody. Even Mariah was like, because she knew the Rock off top, definitely. As somebody we're reeling her on in. And when the Rock came, that just set it all off. Whole crowd electrified. Now, first off, Dave LaGreca, shut your whole ass up, man. Sitting here talking about some Atlanta. You're cheering the Rock? Are you serious? Your hometown hero, Cody Rhodes, is there, and you want to cheer the Rock? I'm like, it's the Rock, you twit. I was like, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? What, we're supposed to boo this man? Heck no. What the freak am I gonna boo? Man, get your.
So let me zoom in on this.
Uh-huh.
You want me to boo a surprise appearance? Not just any surprise appearance. You want me to boo a surprise appearance from one of the greatest entertainers of all time.
Come on.
Exactly, no pop.
Period. So listen.
Get out of my face.
So going back to this moment, obviously from our live experience, we all went bananas. Like the whole arena just went wild. Like
we was ready to pull out. I literally picked up my bag about the race.
Yeah.
And
Cause we thinking like the show was over. Like I know we did, if I'm not mistaken, when Jimmy and Roman and them were all standing there, that end credit thing went to Triple H's typical, trope, right? So I'm thinking, okay, show's over. We can get ready to pack up and exit stage left. All of a sudden, if you smell, I was like, oh, shit. God dang. Like, bruh, darn it, slipped out the chair. I was like, oh, shoot.
I know somebody caught my reaction because I literally snapped my head like, huh?
Now, what's interesting is, we never really did give our condolences to this, especially with me being literally like not even 5 minutes down the road from this school. But still thoughts, prayers, and condolences to all the students from Appalachian High School that suffered from the school shootings that happened a while back. But it was mentioned that The Rock was actually already in Georgia because he went to go visit the students at that school for their first home game. So the fact that he actually ended up popping up was still a surprise, but it was also kind of very convenient. But if I'm not mistaken, he also has a residence in Georgia anyway. So, I mean, of course,
he has a residence in all the major cities, basically.
Pretty much. So, I mean, he can show up just about wherever he wants. It's kind of like, but it was a great surprise, especially for us after the last time we saw this guy, WrestleMania. So it was like, oh, we get to see this twice in 1 year. How about that? What do you know?
Cool with that.
Me too.
I am cool with that. And it's like, where does now the question remains? Now the question exists. Where does the bloodline go from here? Because if you look at, even though I know a lot of people were a little bitter that he just came out there, stood there, counted down 1, 2, 3, and then played his music again. And then he did this. That can mean one or two things. He's either siding with the new bloodline, like you said. Solo says all a part of the plan. Solo could be still delusional from the super kick, Superman punch combo, or he can be on to something. Or The Rock, because I saw someone say, "Oh, The Rock is probably going to reluctantly align with Roman, Cody, and Jimmy against the new bloodline," and I'm like, you thought it was one lopsided before. If The Rock aligns with against the new bloodline, you might as well just throw the whole story in the trash.
Well, enter into my theory that I have cooked up, and I literally sat here and thought about this for a few days, and I said, okay, I got my theory here. So this is what I'm getting from my theory personally. I'm sitting, I'm gonna tell y'all. So, hear me out here. Solo, he's the final boss, The Rock is, right? Which means he calls the final shots when it comes to the bloodline. Now, who's to say that wasn't directed towards a certain person by the name of Solo Sikoa? For one, because of the fact that you failed not once, but twice taking that title back to the bloodline, which was supposed to be your mission. You're calling yourself the tribal chief. However, you failed twice. This technically makes strike 3. 1, 2, this one makes 3. X. That means you, sir, are no longer in charge. You are about to be 86. Cut out. Cut down. You know what I'm saying? Enter Jacob Fatu. Slowly coming up those ranks, takes over. The Tongans start to follow him. Enter 7-foot-tall Higaleo. Next thing you know, a whole new version of this new Bloodline 2.0. Except this version is even more savage than the one that Solo initially tried to do. Enter what Paul Heyman was saying in the past. When the first set of Tongans came, Paul was acting scared, selling it very much so. He was saying, these are not the same. This isn't the bloodline that I remember. These guys are savages. These guys are that, and they were for a while. But then somewhere along the way, it kind of got goofy. But it got goofy because it was under Solo's leadership. Now, you don't think The Rock knows that? The Rock's been watching it quietly ever since the time he left with that last interaction with Cody. Meaning, secretly pulling the strings. Cuts Solo. So then, imagine, Jacob Fatu. Well, actually, Hikuleo debuts. Jacob Fatu, Hikuleo, and the rest of the Tongans start beating up on Solo. Solo is written, they beat him so bad that he's written off TV for about a month. We got Crown Jewel next, right? So, I'd imagine, probably this could happen this Friday. Turn on Solo. Solo's off TV for about a few weeks. Next thing you know, now this bloodline is just straight more savage than it was before, going around beating up everybody and everything. Not giving a dang what they doing. Literally. Popping up anywhere, doing whatever they want to do. Okay? Then, you got Jimmy. You got Roman. Set up a tag match for Crown Jewel, maybe even. It could be Roman and Jimmy versus the two Tongans, or it could be Roman and Jimmy versus... who knows? Or you could just do a one-on-one and you could do the Roman versus Jacob right then and there if you want. If they want. Depending on Triple H's theory. However, maybe they don't do it. Okay, cool. Then you can just set it up where eventually Solo comes back into the picture as the babyface here. But it's one of those where he's got to earn his keep back, got to earn his trust back. Jimmy is a little more embracive because that's little bro. Like, yeah, you was tripping, but you little bruh, so of course I forgive you, but it ain't me that you got to really ask for forgiveness from. You got to holler at the big dog. You got to holler at the tribal chief. You know what I'm saying? And Roman, going to be petty Roman like he is. Be like, yeah, you thought it ain't so easy being in these shoes, is it? Yeah, you thought you was the tribal chief. You got a long ways to go before you can get in these kind of, Roman doing Roman-like things that we would expect. Solo can't do nothing but take it and then just kind of be like, yeah, I was tripping. But we got to stop this, da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah, right? So now you got 3. When he finally comes around, now you got 3. So now it's still 4 against 3, so the numbers are, obviously still lopsided. So then enter the fact of the yeet effect. Now, see, I thought to myself, well, okay, if Solo gets written off for a minute, who would be the last man to enter in if you do this in a war game style? Well, obviously, it would have to be Jay, because Jay won an Intercontinental Championship on his own. Jay carved his own path and did his own thing. It has to come back to Roman going face-to-face with Jay and literally saying, Oos, I'm proud of you. You made your own way. And I know you don't necessarily need your family right now, so I'm man enough to admit that we need you. And at first, Jay is kind of resentful of it, because the flashbacks start to kick back in. The PTSD kind of kicks back in for a second, So he's almost hesitant. Jimmy then kind of be like, bro, listen, I know I was tripping, but if you won't do it for him, do it for your brother. We need you, man. Like, we need you, for real. And then Jay
I'd be like,
still
which
thinks
brother? You
about
mean the one that kept screwing me?
Exactly, right. But look, it'd be like, okay, he keeps, thinking like, all right, I'll think about it. But he's not 100% sure giving an answer. And then it kind of goes back to that one time, like, I think there was a time when they were the heel bloodline. Yeah, remember when Jay disappeared because there was a tug of war between Jimmy and Roman on Jay when he was the right-hand man? Remember how Jay disappeared and Roman kept saying, well, where is he? Did you talk to him? And he's like, he ain't answering my calls, Zeus. I tried, this and that. It could be a similar situation like that, to where then they had that anticipation of, okay, they're going into the War Games match with this new Savage bloodline. They're outnumbered. And then all of a sudden, Usos! You know what I'm saying? Like, last entrant, crowd goes crazy.
They just go straight from the chee-hoo, and then it's just me, and then just...
Yeah, and then the crowd goes crazy because he actually pulls up. Next thing you know, OG Bloodline. Oh, but before I forget, before that even happens, you get another pop before that main pop. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Introducing the entire OG Bloodline right then and there, going against this Bloodline right here.
If that happened, here's what I would do. Seeing as both of them are technically on SmackDown, if they want to keep the continuity of the brand split, even though they don't, they can start off with Paul Heyman returning before as the build up, and then they'd be like, "We need help," and Paul looks at Roman defeated. He's like, "I have an idea," and then Roman immediately says, "You sure he will go for it?" And Paul makes some calls because Paul always said, "I'm gonna make some calls. And I'm gonna get it done." And he gonna pop up on Raw and try to talk to Jay, and then Jay gonna be like, "Nah, I'm good." And then he's gonna continue to come. Jimmy gonna come this time, and he gonna be like, "Nah, I'm good." And then he finally gets Roman to come like maybe a week or two before Survivor Series. And then be like, they talk, and he be like, "I'll think about it." And then he pops up. Like, kind of like, remember when Kevin Owens popped up for Team Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver that one time in like 2019 or 2020? I think it was 2019.
I think it was, I felt like 2020, but it might have been 2019.
Yeah, because 2020, they didn't have War Games. So, 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
It was TakeOver War Games. It was like Team Undisputed Era versus Team Ciampa. It was like Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dijak, I believe somebody else. It's just slipping my brain. Somebody else, and then like Kevin Owens was the surprise, like the last minute entrance. So it's like it could be the OG Bloodline broke into a bloody pulp, and then you hear "Chee-hoo!" It's just, and then he comes out, and then he goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. They can go that type of route, but that's if that's what we're going to like. This is just us just predicting on where they go with this. Like that's where I see them going with because they have a month. They have now between now and Crown Jewel, and when Crown Jewel ends, they have a month to build to Survivor Series. So they have a month and 2 shows.
And I just peeped Jimmy's shirt here, which has me dying laughing right now because they always find a way to just make these Uso shirts. You got we the ones, the real ones. Now they not the ones. You know what's hilarious about that? It almost gives a hair of Kendrick Lamar to me for some odd reason.
They not like us.
You see what I'm saying? It's giving that just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Mustard on the beat, hold deep, fuck, even back, nigga.
Yeah. Now I know people are probably thinking with my theory, like, well, where does The Rock fit in with all of this?
He's pulling the string.
He pulls the strings to where the outcome would basically, he would be the determination of the outcome of who wins the War Game match, because obviously it's gonna set up the long game for him versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of just a little theory that I got right now. Obviously, we could both be way wrong. Let's see what they decide they want to do. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy, like, I can say the Bloodline could not afford another loss. Last thing I'll say on the main event, the Bloodline could not afford another loss. Like, they just look like a bunch of jumps at this point. And they protected, and it's like, I was listening to, I believe it was Solid Monster. He was like, remember when Solo first took over the Bloodline, he was like, wins and losses matter. He's like, brother, you've been losing a lot.
A whole lot. Yes.
So it's like, brother, you pretty much going back on your word.
100%.
Your theme song is a lie.
We'll be taking it. Yeah, I know, man. when he was in Enforcer solo, it fits so well. But now it just since he did, it's just like, man.
Even then, it was like after he beat John Cena, they just had him going on a losing streak, which was kind of inadvertently made people not take him serious as this new tribal chief. And now you have the new tribal chief losing at SummerSlam, then you're losing in the steel cage on the SmackDown premiere, and you're losing again in Atlanta. Because I said that during our predictions, I was like, "Yo, I know Roman and Cody is going to win, but Solo and them need to win more than they do."
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing he can. That's why
Like,
I say like
he cannot say nothing on SmackDown that will be like that would convince me. I'm like, bro, you lost.
that's why I feel that theory I created when I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, this is why I feel like Jacob would have to step up, turn on Solo, and they beat him down to where, since Solo is a part of the OG bloodline, it's kind of like, well, he would have to get turned on and basically brought back down to reality of, you know what, Us, I wasn't ready. You're right. I let the Ulafala get to me. It corrupted me. You know, and like I said, Roman rubbing it in, being petty. You know, still embracing them a little bit, you know, but just kind of still throwing them side shots at him like, yeah, you thought she wasn't ready for this. You know. Basically, doing to him like he was doing to Jey Uso almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else on? So yeah, we'll basically see what happens on SmackDown. SmackDown, they pretty much hyping it up like with Jimmy's return. Like shout out to Jimmy's return too. Like could never show enough love. Like we love Jay and we love Jimmy. He's been entertaining. He's been missed. So it's like now he finally got that hug from Roman that he's been trying to get for the past 6 months in SummerSlam. So hey man.
Yeah.
We can appreciate that. So other than that, Bad Blood in itself, yeah, the mid card though was kind of all right to mid.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I still haven't gone back and actually watched it with the commentary, but after listening to like other people's thoughts in terms of the start and the ending being what basically carried the show to be like a solid B to B plus. Hearing it, I can see why people were thinking from the live experience, you know, it's different for us live because we're just vibing and enjoying ourselves. But when I go back and watch these, on paper, when I think about it, even from the live experience, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Monday Night Raw, could have been on a Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan and freaking Rhea Ripley could have been on a Monday Night Raw.
That match pissed me off for all the wrong reasons. And it's more so it made Rhea look like a complete idiot. And that's just me coming from live. I'm like, that's why I tweeted what I tweeted. I said, Rhea, you have a match.
But she's a babyface now, and as we know with babyfaces, WWE doesn't book babyfaces that well. Even under Triple H's watch. They're always going to do the dumb
babyface. Tell. Trust me, we can see.
Yeah, you know, and it's just one of those things where it's like, dude, you know, all of those middle matches should have been on. What could have easily replaced those, in my opinion? Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed could have replaced that. The Donnybrook match we got on Raw with Pete Dunne and Sheamus could have replaced any of these matches. You see what I'm saying? Like, either of those. Heck, even the dumpster match with Chelsea Green and Mia Yim could have replaced that.
Which, shout out to them. Give them their flowers for that match.
For sure. Absolutely. But that's why I'm saying, like, all of those specialty matches that were on TV, and I get it. Props to Triple H and management for at least making these TV shows more unpredictable in terms of, like, Nobody thought Jay was going to win that Intercontinental title on a Raw, but it was cool. Nobody thought, oh, we got a dumpster match on a SmackDown episode? That's what's up. XYZ. Man, we got a last monster standing match. Oh my gosh. Typical pay-per-view like stipulation type of matches. But man, all of those matches easily could have replaced either of these three because I gotta agree, man.
Bayley, Nia Jax was fun for what it was from a live experience.
Yeah.
Rhea and Liv, it was solid in-ring wise, but everybody in that arena was more focused on Dom in that cage.
And it was
like they
quiet.
were literally chanting for Dom. They barely reacted to anything Rhea and Liv did.
Pretty much.
From our section. I don't know what other I can't speak on behalf of like we always do. We can't speak on behalf of other sections, but from our section, nobody reacted. Like I was trying, but
and the same can be said for Damian and Finn. It was like no reaction. You know, even when the Judgment Day came out, it felt like
because he basically won a handicap match.
Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, okay, you know, like, and it just, yeah, you know, I mean, the girls enjoyed themselves just because they were loving it and invested into the stories.
DJ hated Damian winning though.
Yeah, he did. Lulu loved it because she's got that Puerto Rican connect. She loves her some Damian Priest, so it was like she was happy.
It was mixed bag in the group, but
yeah,
our group fine with it. I was fine with it. Like, I mean, hopefully this just keeps them apart. Move on.
Yeah, Nikki was actually upset at the outcome with Rhea and Liv. Shocker because she's such a Liv fan, right? It was really more so she didn't want Liv. She didn't want Liv to win that way. You know, she was hoping it was going to be like a simple 1, 2, 3. But I was like, well, you know, this is kind of what happens. I was like, sometimes they just do this type of stuff.
Raquel came back, and
first off, congratulations that you are healthy.
Yes, congratulations. But the way she came back,
go ahead.
Exactly, no pop.
Nobody reacted. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. I was like,
that's from the live experience too. That's what's so wild. Like,
I was
not
like,
one person.
Oh my God. Nobody. And then the DQ made it worse. like people went from no pop to literally like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then the groan that Dominic got from damn near falling out the cage. I'm almost thinking we had an Owen Hart situation on our hands. Like, oh God, no. I was like, oh God, no. I was like, please don't.
Because it came out of nowhere. I was like, oh my God. Because I was paying attention, but halfway not paying attention.
Facts.
And then I look up and he's leaning forward. I'm like, oh my God. But they had the strap to his ankle to catch him. But I'm like, dude, y'all can't do that.
Yeah, bro. Like, I was like, man, we don't need a tragedy on our hands now because I feel bad for anybody that was ever at that Owen Hart show. And I feel like
that kind of hurt them a little bit because people was feeling sympathetic towards Dom.
Yeah.
So the entire booking of this match just did not go in anybody's favor at all. They made Rhea look stupid. Dom was supposed to be booed, but he got sympathy because it looked like he was about to fall to his death. And then Raquel came back unintentionally in front of the referee, so the referee had because he was apparently online. It said he wasn't supposed to see Raquel at all, but she overshot herself and pretty much attacked Rhea in front of the ref.
See, and this is what gets me, like, because we understand that this is, like, predetermined here. But when it comes to the referee angle, this is where things get tricky because it's not predetermined when the referee clearly, blatantly sees things that go against violations of WWE rules, since there is an actual rule book for the WWE officials. The thing that gets me is, well, ref, why the heck did you turn around if you knew the outcome of what you were supposed to do?
He forgot. He forgot.
So
Wasn't
this is
that referee
basically.
Rudy? Wasn't that Rudy Charles? Or was it somebody else?
I think so. I don't. Outside of Asia and Jessica Carr, I don't know none of these male referees. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. I know the female ones the most, more than anything, for just because they stand out. But that's, hey. By the way, I hope Jessica Carr is all right after getting squashed by.
Oh
Nia
yeah, for
like
sure.
That,
Like brother, I said, I threw up. I said, throw in the X. Woman down.
He like, that
Pimping
woman
the
is
stress.
dead. She's dead. Oh man. Yeah.
Like, Lord have mercy.
Good Lord. Jesus. Woo! Straight up
My
like
back.
a pancake.
Spinal.
Gonna be pancakes tonight.
I was eating Waffle House that night, but Jessica Carr was a pancake.
Scrape that girl off the canvas. She's done. But yeah. Nonetheless, yeah, man. Yeah, that women's world title. That's why it's just like all of this just gave off television Monday Night Raw vibe. And I ain't listened to this dude in like forever, but I just peeped in to see what old JD would think. And what's funny? Because he said something that I said, that's actually true. I know we don't care for the dude, but he said something that was so true. This man said, they celebrate the fact like, hey, we just broke yet another record, but we just increased the prices of tickets to $600 to $900 a ticket during a time of inflation. And it's like, and this is the quality you give us. And it was like, yeah, when you think about it, that felt like
I ain't gonna lie to you. For our seats to be $600 a pop, and I'm just throwing a number out there, it's probably a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kind of got ripped off a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Five matches.
Only 2 stood out, and really 1 stood out. The main event was solid towards in the middle and the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, and it's like, so that's aside from that, it felt like a Monday Night Raw
on a Saturday.
Yeah, where it was like
if you're hardcore viewers like me and you, DJ, Lulu, Nikki, they loved it. They had a blast, and I love it. But it's like if you were looking at that price and you measure the price to the quality that we got.
Exactly. You're sitting there like, I don't know, because think about that, bro. Like, that was basically WrestleMania tickets, and we got more quality out of night 1 of WrestleMania for the price,
which was cheaper actually. The Mania tickets were cheaper. When you think about it, our Mania tickets in Philly were cheaper. They was like 400, 300, 400 for 2 people.
Yeah, they were. Bro. You see what I'm saying?
So it's like we both,
and we had good positioning because we weren't too far from the freaking. Remember, because we were like, dang, we this close.
It was like close to the ring, but not right at the floor to where we had to stand up and see. It's like
exactly like it was like, well, wait a minute. And floor seats, you know what? They're kind of overrated.
Yeah.
Because sitting there, this is just us talking from our live experience. I got hyped because I'm like, I've never been on the floor before. I was like, this is cool, and I realized it's kind of overrated.
If you're not on the 1st through the 4th row, you might as well just
be in the nosebleeds.
Crib.
yeah, watch it at the crib or be in the nosebleeds. You know what I'm saying? Because at least with the nosebleeds, it gives a skybox kind of feel.
And you're looking up at the monitor. You're looking at the monitor because when you're on the floor, you're looking up at the monitor. Like you get like the videos that I posted on social media. You get a good visual of the ring when you're standing up and you're holding the camera up.
Facts.
But as far as like when the cell match was happening, we had to look at the monitor because when they're on the floor, you could barely see through the mesh.
Exactly, bro.
So you have to look up. So it's like I could have just paid $200 for the higher seats.
Oh yeah, and then remember we thought about the suite. We were gonna do the suite thing. We probably was better off with that when you think about that, because it was like, god dang, at least there we would have been able to.
We was the same price of the buying, but we would have just had to get more people to come with us in the skybox.
Man, see, bro. Yeah, that's a lesson learned. We learned the priority pass situation with SummerSlam. Cool thing.
Cool for the most part, but
the seating didn't match the pricing of like the other rest of the experience. Where we're like, huh, wait a minute. So that part was cool, but this is where you sat us? Wait a minute. That don't make sense. It was
like they had us. What did they have us? We was like towards the
like
top,
200, yeah, top 200 somewhere, and it was like,
yeah, I was like, huh,
that don't add up, you know? Because you would have thought like where we were for Bad Blood, you would have thought the priority pass for that SummerSlam would have had us like at least somewhere like there, where it'd have been like, okay, cool, this is doable, but no, it was like we were nosebleeding a little bit.
Right.
It was like, okay, cool. I think.
Put it this way: the way Bad Blood was set up, unless you were a fan of the Bloodline or CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, you wasted your money.
Yeah, and you know another thing JD kind of pointed out was like he was just mentioning people who weren't on the card, where it was like, you know, you call it a premium live event. He was like, you call it a premium live event, but there's nothing premium about it. It basically is a pay-per-view, because he's like, where's the premium? How do you not have LA Knight on the card? He's one of the hottest baby faces that you have. You didn't have him on this card. Do you know how crazy that crowd would have went if we would have heard?
They could have put the ladder match.
Exactly. Carmelo Hayes. Freaking Andrade. Dog. You could have did round 7 right there at Bad Blood. Easily you could have had 2 more matches that you at least could have thrown in there. This 5-match thing.
But you gave us fucking Goldberg.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Atlanta, one thing I will say about y'all, why did y'all entertain that? I get that he's from Atlanta, even though he's technically from Oklahoma, but, you know, Atlanta is like home, so I get it. Why on earth did y'all entertain this man? Goldberg. No.
If you was there next to me, everybody was chanting Goldberg around me, except for I was literally just like,
I was looking around too. I was like, like, Haven, if you ever come across this, all I could do was think of you, girl. When I saw this coming, I said, uh-oh. Boy, shout out to our girl Haven Rain, boy, because I just sat there and was just like, ooh. I know somewhere deep down she is having a field day right now. Like, why? Like, throwing something at this TV screen. Like, why did you have to spotlight this man? And then Gunther said what he said, and I bet that just made her smile and laugh so hard because he threw them shots.
I appreciate you, Gunther. I really do. But that segment really did not need to happen.
Yeah, and speaking of which, let's talk about the disappointment the crowd felt in the fact that this doggone crown jewel title, this ugly yet shiny and very 4K carat or 24K or whatever, however many carats of gold that thing is.
What was my first reaction?
About the reaction you're doing right now.
like I literally, when you was recording the announcement, I literally turned and looked into your camera. I said, "Ugly ass belt," and just looked right back. That's all I can say. I'm like, this is an ugly ass fucking belt. Like, I mean, why?
You know what's funny is even in this very beautiful screenshot that you have, even on Triple H's face, it just looks like, yeah, this is some bullshit. I got to do the speech to prepare and announce this because they paying us to do this. I know this is bullshit. I would love to give you guys a mid-card women's title, but it's just like, well, you
what
didn't.
happened to Braun Strowman's title? Remember that title?
For the greatest Royal Rumble ever. The one that no one remembers except for the one situation of Titus O'Neil slipping and sliding under the ring. That was literally the only memorable thing of that entire match.
Oh, and Brian going the
60.
He
went
with a like
toe up chest.
Yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. Yeah. And that was just me. That was just me digging deep into my brain vault because everything else in that match I don't remember.
Yeah,
at all. Oh, I remember this one dude who they thought Yokozuna was gonna be there, even though he's been dead for years.
Yeah, it just goes to show. Oh my gosh, you see?
Yeah, the Saudi Arabia residency has been an acid trip when it comes to WWE.
And it sucks because we have 7 more years of this.
Yeah, because of the pandemic delayed the contract, so they had to tack more time. So, yeah. We're
gonna be like
married
for the
long haul.
We'll probably be married with kids by the time this doggone contract ends, and that's the sad part about all of this. 7 years is a long time, my ninja.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a 6-year-old.
Man, you and me both. I probably have a couple 6-year-olds by then. Who knows?
A 5 or 6-year-old, like we gonna have kids literally running around and going to what's the grade for 5-year-olds? What is it? First grade?
Yeah, typically, like kindergarten, first grade.
Kindergarten, first grade. That's how long this residency is going to be, and we got to deal with it. So it's basically the crown jewel. For those of you who don't know, while we're joking about it, is literally tight. It's champion versus champion. It's basically their version of bragging rights or Survivor Series brand supremacy. Undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes versus World Heavyweight champion Gunther. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan versus Women's Champion Nia Jax. And the winner will be the crown jewel of WWE. And won't defend it because whoever is the champion next crown jewel will fight for this belt. Because Triple H said it'll be an annual thing. It's so fucking
stupid. Yeah, bro. Like, beyond words of just what is these fools just really want to be included for everything. You wanted a Royal Rumble, you got King and Queen of the Ring, now this, and it's just like and God forbid they send a WrestleMania there because they're really campaigning for that, and it's just like
knowing them, that will probably be their swan song for that contract or WrestleMania out there.
Oh God!
And best believe that will be the one time I will not be at WrestleMania. I'm after this year, after Vegas, I will be like, yeah, I'm done. Wale Mania will be virtual.
Facts.
They will not be in.
I'm gonna say, that's it, bro. We done. That's it.
That'll be the one time that Wale Mania won't happen is when it happened in Saudi Arabia. Unless Wale just says, you know what, we're finna go international Wale Mania. Just know I won't be there.
Good luck doing all of that stuff in that territory of town. Oh
yeah, there ain't gonna be no twerking. Like y'all literally gonna be line dancing.
If that.
I can't touch. And your woman got to cover up. That whole thing. So,
yeah, no.
Let's do some positivity. Let's talk a little bit about this Cell in the Cell match before we move on to Raw and get the hell up out of here. Thoughts on this Cell match? Because we did not expect them to bleed. Mm-hmm. I predicted it, of course, but yeah.
Oh, I expected them to bleed for sure. I mean, you don't You don't call a show Bad Blood, have a Hell in a Cell, and both guarantee each other that they're gonna bleed and not bleed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though I know, like, again, you in your own way predicted it, but first off, let's just give flowers what flowers are due to the producer of this match, which I found out ended up being Mr. Joseph Parks himself, aka Abyss, for my
Chris,
TNA watchers out there.
Chris.
And that does not surprise me because he and all the gruesome matches he's ever had, Monsters Ball, hardcore matches, things like that, yeah, this felt like something he would have produced, and that makes this that much more just chef's kiss, you know, because, boy, witnessing this live was like, oh my goodness, you could hear us just going, yee, we were grimacing at some of this stuff. I mean, that doggone Miss Claymore landing on the back of that doggone steel stair like that, ooh, we all just went, ooh, like we felt that, boy. We were like, oh my goodness. Yeah, this was a very poetic match at its finest. A lot of callbacks, such as this one here with the Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin callback. Quite a few things that made this a very methodical storytelling match. I mean, one day we gotta talk about some of our favorite Hell in a Cell matches, because this one up for me is up there with obviously.
Memory, yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would love to just do one like a top 5, top 10 all time, because I mean, like,
Okay.
you know, like this is up there with, you know, both Taker ones. You know, I think like some of my favorites off top, I can just name them. I mean, there's Brock Lesnar, Undertaker at I believe that was
No Mercy.
No Mercy. Yeah, No Mercy. Because Unforgiven is the one where he threw Brock through that sign. So yeah, No Mercy, right? That was a killer Hell in a Cell match. Undertaker and Mankind, of course, the famous one. You know, getting thrown off. Shoot. Xavier Woods, you know, the New Day and the Usos. We can definitely never sleep on that Hell in a Cell match, right? You know, Becky and Sasha was a really good one. Sasha and Charlotte, you know, was a good one as well because it was the first one for the women. And so it's like, just off top, like those are some of the ones that I'm just like, yo, those Hell in a Cells were like really, really good Hell in a Cell matches. And this one is definitely up there. I know we've had some that just got way overused and overdone, but there are really good ones, and this one is definitely up there in that top 10, top 20 of all time.
Oh yeah, I can't debate that because it's like we was popping for pretty much everything that went down from start to finish, and it's like I understand people's argument of this should have been the main event, but at the same time, we gotta understand that Punk, a blood feud ain't gonna trump the Rock return. That's just
Facts,
like,
because if
imagine
you
the Rock
switched it,
return in the opening, and then Bailey versus Nia Jax has to follow that.
exactly, and then everything else in between, from Damian and Finn trying to follow that, and then Rhea and Liv trying to follow that. Like, we would have been still thinking about The Rock all the way up until that point, and then the Hell in a Cell would happen.
Like, you probably wouldn't even feel it until someone started bleeding, and then you'd be like, "Oh, I'm locked in now." So I feel like I understand why they did it, because it opened the show, it left you thinking about it for a while. Bailey, Nia, they had the unfortunate task of following. They did their best. It was actually pretty fun. I wasn't finna say it was the greatest follow up, but yeah, it was a pretty solid opening and closing of uh whatever pay-per-view. And hopefully if they do come back for a pay-per-view, whether it's a WrestleMania or Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, they don't cheap us again, because these prices are kind of steep for mediocrity.
Especially, again, I'm still just like, you charged us that, and it was in State Farm Arena, my ninja. I can understand Mercedes-Benz, but State Farm Arena, where you also do Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, there's no difference. Because if this was just a Raw or a SmackDown, those tickets wouldn't be nowhere near that price.
Nope.
So, all I'm saying is, if that's the case, I'd hate to see what it's going to look like at Mercedes-Benz Stadium when they bring a WrestleMania here, or a SummerSlam,
or Royal Rumble, since they like to do Royal Rumbles in stadiums.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd hate to see what those type of tickets would look like then, if that's the case.
I will gladly watch on Peacock from my TV. Buddy, you don't know?
Oh, that boy said,
I will host a kickback at the crib for the crew to come through, and we just eat food and watch the show and call it a night. Like, don't play with me. No. Like, but overall, pricing aside, it still was a fun vibe to kick it and watch Bad Blood with our friends and people we call family. And even shout out to people we ran into: Muscle Man Malcolm, Sir Wilkins, Stephanie Hardy from the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. Like, so many people, creators, like so many people that we ran into and that we saw. What was it? What's Reese's?
Reese KB Lip Gloss and Ladders.
Lip Gloss and Ladders. Yeah.
2/4 of that.
So shout out to y'all for pulling up, and it's like and being like cordial, like we said when we said we like, yo, if you aren't around, dap us up. And a lot of y'all did. Like, it was a good vibe. It was a good time. Like, yo, it was all jokes. Went to Waffle House. People thought I was gonna go to the one at the arena, but the arena was literally packed. So I went to the one at my crib. Didn't get back to the crib until like 2 a.m. Luckily, I ain't have nothing going on Sunday, so I slept in for the most part. I did nothing. So, yeah. And speaking of sleep, we actually got to sleep early on Monday because Raw was 2 hours for the very first time since 2012. Since the Raw 999.
Good transition, brother. Okay. All right.
Did you peep Raw at all?
I did, but I didn't fully pay a lot of attention. Not because I didn't like it, because I was in the middle of something. On it? From what I could see, from the glances I saw, seemed decent yet short. Because it was like, oh yeah, it's 2 hours again. So everything felt quick. Like you blink and you're like, oh, the match is over. You know, it was like every match that I did see, I'm looking like, oh. Because it felt like the longest match out of all of them might have been the Donnybrook match, maybe?
It was.
Yeah, because everything else...
The second one was the main event.
Yeah, that's right. Which... That main event made me miss the 3-hour mark just for that main event. Because that would have gotten at least 45 minutes. Yeah, 30 to 45 minutes at least. You know what I mean? And I see why some people, even in our age range, that did grow up from the 2-hour age, I see why some people do kind of miss the 3-hour thing. It's like that. It just takes. It's gonna take a while, y'all, because it's like when something's been so embedded in your mind and your routine for like 12 years, and then you're suddenly back at 2 hours. I mean, it won't take that long because you guys watch SmackDown, and SmackDown is 2 hours. Okay, so you'll get used to it again.
So here's my gripe. Not even with the response. We'll talk about people's response. My gripe is with WWE. They tried to cram 3 hours worth of content into 2 hours. They
did. You could tell.
You should not have to do that. You should not have done that. Yeah. It should have been a smooth transition. It should have been a smooth across the board. You're going to have to cut back on a lot of in-ring promos.
Yeah, because they did 2 back-to-back promos to start that show, which I found very interesting. You know,
We had
especially with
Sexy
the
Red.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Sex.
As soon as the show started, it was Sexy Red. Said, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw." She started the twerk and they immediately cut to the Bad Blood recap. They said, "Yeah, we're not doing that." Triple H said, "Take that twerking shit to NXT," which she did because she did a performance on NXT, which was ass. But after
Pun
that,
intended.
pun intended. After that, we got CM Punk basically saying he's going to be going away from Raw. He's not working the Saudi shows. If you
Don't
know, you
blame
know.
him.
But he's not. He's basically not working the Saudi show. And Seth Rollins interrupted him, so we went from a Punk promo to a Seth Rollins promo. So there's 2 back-to-back promos to where Bronson Reed couldn't even respond to the promo because they didn't have enough time, so he had to go straight to Twitter. We went from that Seth Rollins promo, which took up a good chunk of the first 30 minutes of the show, to Jey Uso versus Xavier Woods.
And right in that moment, see, here's the thing. You had these entrances continue to interrupt people. They were doing that entrance thing again, where it's just awkward, right? And it's like, okay, it made sense for Punk and Seth, but when you had Jey Uso do it, they tried to make it seem like there was tension, but I'm like, it ain't that it was tension. Y'all just rushed the heck out of that. Like, you could have just let Seth's music hit, leave, and then Jay's music could have hit. But to just imagine how awkward that felt.
Oh, it was because Seth was mid singing and said, "Ooh," so I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
The transitions of the entire show was just weird.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by them trying to cram 3 hours worth of content into 2 hours filled with commercials. So it wasn't even 2 hours worth of content. It was literally probably an hour and 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Because you would have thought that because this was something they did originally to begin with, given going back to the days of the Attitude Era, you know, a lot of times that went pretty smoothly usually with those 2 hours. They were able to pretty much explain what they wanted to explain, like the storylines we were invested in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, because that was 2 hour Raw too. So even in those times, like 2 hours was pretty. I mean, we've done retro reviews. We've seen those previous 2 hour Raws. They didn't feel rushed. They were smooth, right? And so I get it. It's been 12 years, but Triple H, you were there for that.
You can't even use that excuse because you're booking SmackDown, which is 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Your best friend is booking NXT, which is 2 hours.
Which is 2 hours. And you booked the original OG NXT, which was 1 hour. So you know how to do this in a smooth way. Everybody's not going to get TV time,
and that's unfortunate. That's the and people who are like mentioning say, Triple H, you have to go back to 3 hours. He has no choice. USA Network is not paying for that third hour. You're gonna have to deal with it until January. So it's not up to us to boycott or rant online and saying, "Oh my God, it needs to go back to 3 hours." Triple H at Triple H, you have no choice. Take it back to 3 hours. He doesn't have a choice. It's not happening. He has a choice to make the 2 hours actually mean something. If you want to have long-winded matches to breathe, that means you're going to have less talking segments. Or you're going to have shorter matches and more talking segments. You can find that perfect balance. It is possible. And it probably doesn't help that Raw has a bigger roster than SmackDown. But then again,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to cut back on some stuff. You're gonna have to take the good of the 3 hours and keep it, and you're gonna have to take the bad of the 3 hours and scrap it. But it's up to Triple H and the booking to make it make sense, because we got a 10-woman tag team match when it was 40 minutes left of the show, and I'm like, bro, this is giving. And to tell you, Diva stands had PTSD on Twitter because they was like, we're going backwards.
Yeah. Because what that match was, all of what, 5-6 minutes, maybe?
8 minutes.
Sheesh.
It
8
was an
minutes for a
8-minute
cluster.
match. They had literally 2 entrances. They had one for the Unholy Union commercial. Pure Fusion Collective was already in the ring. Natalya came out, and all the baby faces came out with her.
Oh my God.
So they had They had time for 2 matches. 2 entrances for this 8-minute match where everybody got their shit in, but the crowd just did not pop. The crowd didn't care.
Oh, let's not forget Liv Morgan popping up and popping out. Where it was like, huh?
And then they had Liv Morgan say, even when I lose, I win. The fuck you just say to me?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm like, what?
They just made Liv look dumb. That's about as bad as Mello when he lost to Randy Orton. He's like, I didn't lose. I just didn't win.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, yeah. I don't know, man. Hopefully this gets better before it gets worse before it gets better. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, but before we get up out of here, I'm going to read everybody's reaction because I actually put a tweet up after the show was done because it ended at 10. I was like, all right, let me see everybody's reactions to it. And it's funny, I used this picture.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Ah! That's hilarious, bro. What the
I said, so how are we feeling about Raw being 2 hours thus far after week 1? Jones World said Rush wasn't bad, and goddamn these effing commercials was ridiculous. Overall, solid show. They gonna get used to it in like a week or 2. Corny, it said, felt Rush, honestly, in my opinion, I think it works better for SmackDown since their roster is smaller, as we said, and more compact, while Raw is loaded with stars. And Triple H has been able to make those 3 hours bearable. Definitely Sheamus, Dunn, and Sammy Gunther were really good. Raymond, he said, throwing my schedule off. Oh, I'm not used to this. Albert Huntz said, awesome. Now I can watch the rest of the game because Monday Night Football was on.
Facts.
Now I'm gonna watch. At Inferno said, now I'm gonna watch folks play this Dragon Ball game on Twitch because they had a new Dragon Ball game come out.
For sure.
Got free time. Shayla said, don't care for it. Blurty Quad said, good. I'm glad it's 2 hours. Jay, I think motherfucking. Oh, motherfucker, I don't know what he meant. He said, why does it seem like, to me at least, that they put in more commercial breaks than when it was 3 hours? Like,
they did do that.
After every segment, a commercial break during a wrestler's entrance, a commercial break in between a match, and about 2 damn commercial breaks.
Now, that's true, because even the original OG 2 hour Raws didn't have that many freaking commercials.
Right. They was like, I'm finna get my money back. Jordy Foxwood said no. Andre said something felt off about it, but it'll figure itself out. Missed a lot of those behind the scenes commercial transition. Ocean said, the fuck is with all these commercials? And I feel like that's a lot of people's complaints. They said they got to figure out that commercial shit. It makes DJ Soulbone said it makes Hunter's problem with booking the women's division on Mondays even worse, especially if your name doesn't rhyme with Kia, which means Rhea, or Shiv means Liv. Lancer, Pain Impact said, terrible decision. Less time with commercials included just makes it easier to rush things. Segments included. Provides far less time for such a deep roster of talent.
Okay.
Southside Jim said, I'm not going to be able to watch it anymore because I don't get off work to 9, which is unfortunate.
Yikes. Okay.
Denario James says, I'm not sure yet. Those 2 hours went by quick. Big back snack. I think I might miss that third hour. Invader Him says, I missed the 3 hours. Ron Parker gave the Batista gift thumbs down. Chocolate Giddy said, I feel like I'm regaining time in my life. Technolog said, I prefer 3 hours. Jay Philly Boy said, I hate it. Give me my extra hour. I paid to be on Raw this coming Monday on October 21st for 3 hours, not 2. Boo. The hungry yelling gift. And last but not least, Ike Moore said, God bless 2 hours. They had over a decade to get 3 hours right, and they never did. So it was a mixed bag.
I see.
It was pretty much a mixed bag. And then Bunny in my mind said, F, it's an F for me.
Dang, Bunny. I ain't mad at you, girl, because sheesh.
3 hours of Raw, it was a mixed bag. I mean, no, 2 hours of Raw, excuse me. It was a mixed bag for the most part. I didn't know what to do for that last hour. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was like, damn, I got like an hour left. So I just went ahead and started moving more stuff. But other than that, yeah, 2 hours of Raw, it's gonna take some getting used to. I prefer my bedtime, and it's like it's up to the company to basically make it bearable.
Mm-hmm.
You got any final thoughts on 2 hours Raw before we get about here?
Guys, just again, bear with this. You know, some of y'all I don't blame missing the 3 hours. I kind of miss it, but again, let's give them time. At least, like they said, about a week or two, and let's see if this trend continues. God help us when it comes to Raw, because we used to complain about the 3 hours, and now we're missing it. See what I'm saying? So like, just give it time.
It's more so on the booking, like I said. Like they have to make it watchable.
Yeah.
Whether it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, make it entertaining. We said it about Bad Blood. We said it about this. Make it entertaining to where it's worth our time. They obviously filmed next week's Raw in advance after the show because they're going to the UK, so they won't be filming any shows over there. They're doing a live event in the UK. So next week's Raw is taped. If you're on Twitter, you probably got spoiled on some things. I've avoided spoilers like a plague, like I always do. So I'll basically be watching it in real time like everything else. 2 hours of Raw is here for the rest of 2024. Your football team disappoint you this week?
No, because you can't disappoint when you're on a bye week. So by default, I guess that's a win.
The Dolphins won by 5 points. I'll take it. Y'all still disappoint me every day. But it is what it is.
I feel you, bro.
What you got going on before we get up out of here? Oh, song of the week.
Song
While you think about what you got going on.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna go with the theme of the Bad Blood. Might as well.
GTA.
Might as well go GTA. What the heck?
Yeah. I've been listening to Teddy Swims a lot more for some reason. So The Door by Teddy Swims is my guy. Because someone put out a tweet that said, hey, what white song would you never skip? And I was like, Teddy Swims, The Door recently. I have a lot of white songs. I have a long list of songs. Like even from Spider-Man days from when I was younger, like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, like there's a lot of those songs on there I would listen to and not skip. But other than that, what else you got going on this week?
As far as this week, it's a pretty open slate. We're actually this week we're celebrating our bro DJ getting ready to get married on this upcoming Saturday. Again, they really enjoyed themselves. Congratulations, you two. We're glad that we could give you guys a awesome wedding present / getaway from the stress of planning it. You know, that was the biggest thing. They were, but they were so happy to just have that getaway and escape. So people, let that just be a lesson to no matter what it is you do, whether you're planning a wedding, whether you're planning an event or just in general grinding and you find yourself in like stress like that, take some time to
Or
just get
celebrating
away.
or unfortunate anniversary of someone's passing. You never know.
You never know. I mean, my brother also had that moment to get away with friends and family and just temporarily escape. So if that's you out there, man, just get with a group of friends. If you ain't got that group of friends, man, do it solo dolo if you have to. Just take a moment, step away, and go enjoy a live experience somewhere. Go to a concert, wrestling event, sporting event, uh, travel somewhere, anything. Just get that getaway. But that's about it for this week for you, boy. That's about it going into this week. Just getting ready to celebrate our bro. And you already know, man. Just follow your boy, all things at Hi-Lite Life, HILITE Life. Follow all things OTS Media Co. for our bro DJ. If you want to give him a wedding present, just subscribe to his podcast. That's the best wedding present you can give that man. Trust me. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, OTS Media Co. And that's about it on this end, brother.
Oh yes, sir. And you know the deal over here. Scan that QR code if you want to subscribe to the audio format of this podcast that tries to bring you the good vibes every Tuesday, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give us a 5-star rating if you will on Spotify or Apple. Like, it helps us go up, climb the rankings. I don't know our categories. I believe some categories it says comedy because we laughing a lot, so it's assumed that we're a comedy show. But it's mainly wrestling and sports and all that good stuff. It was a light episode this week because outside of Bad Blood, AEW this week doesn't really interest us. And one thing we're not going to do is force ourselves to watch something that isn't interesting because Wrestle Dream doesn't interest me, this personally. Like, if I catch it, I catch it, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world, and it's like nothing we can do about it. AEW was on tonight against NXT for that last hour. Hopefully the discourse will discourse, but us over here, hopefully if you enjoy AEW, hopefully you guys have fun this weekend for Wrestle Dream that goes down on October 12th. If you don't enjoy AEW, shut the fuck up about it because no one cares that you hate AEW. You just hate watching at this point. Just shut up.
Yeah.
But other than that, make sure you guys follow the podcast at Gresh Unleashed Pod. Make sure you guys peep me this Thursday on the Public Enemies podcast with your boys, Public PE4. It still doesn't ring, but yo, catch us on Thursday, 7:15, 7:20. If we're not running late, I will be actually home for the podcast, so I won't be out of town. But next week I will be out of town. But this week I'll be here, so hopefully we will be doing our thing over there, and we'll preview and predict Wrestle Dream. But as far as me personally, I'll predict it. I'll take part of it. But us over here, not really interested in it. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. But with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets. Oh, my phone just fell. I feel like my phone falls a lot on these shows. But make sure you guys always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be breezy.